Hi, this is Doc Massey with the weekly rant for the Sun-Gazette. Got a good one this week. I was really fired up Sunday night. If you watched the Bills-Chiefs game, you probably know where I'm going with this one. Everybody knows the Chiefs had an amazing play with the lateral, Kelsey to Tony, all that. Although the Chiefs cheated. They had a guy offsides. Kadarius Toney was blatantly offsides. I was really fired up Sunday night. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes totally embarrassed themselves. So did Jerick McKinnon after the game with their crying about the officials making the correct call. They half-heartedly apologized. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes came out and said, well, they still don't call it off. And, well, shut up. The guy was offside. So here's the situation. It was first and 10. They were around midfield. Patrick Mahomes threw the pass to Travis Kelsey about 20 yards downfield. Kelsey laterals it to Tony. Chiefs are celebrating. They think they're going to win the game. The flag was thrown right away because Kadarius Toney was half a yard offsides. So it was the right call. Shut up. Stop whining and saying, oh, we got screwed and the ref shouldn't have called it. Patrick Mahomes said after the game, he was barely offsides. Hey, there's no such thing as barely offsides, Patrick. You're offsides or you're not. He was offsides, and the Chiefs are acting like, oh, he was just a step or two offsides. He was half a yard off the line of scrimmage, and they're saying, oh, well, it's the referee's job to warn the receivers. No, it's not their job to make sure you're not an idiot and lining 5 yards offsides. How long have you been playing this game? You're professional football players. You know where to line up. So Patrick Mahomes acted like a 2-year-old with his fit on the sidelines. Again, over a call that was clearly the correct call. The referees are a dumpster fire, don't get me wrong. They make terrible calls all the time. This year, every game, every team, whatever, but it's usually pass interference or holding or judgment calls, things like that. There was no judgment here. The guy was offsides blatantly, and it's a rule that they've been enforcing more this year. They've called it at least 11 or 12 times now. And it was so heinous. Again, if you look at the all 22 camera angle, he's a good half yard in the neutral zone. So there's nothing even to argue. But if we go beyond that, it wasn't the last play of the game. The Chiefs are acting again like this cost them the game. It's 2nd and 15 now. They're at their own 45-yard line, 3 timeouts, over a minute to go. You supposedly have this generational quarterback in Patrick Mahomes. Go win the game. Stop complaining and go win the game. What do? They throw 3 straight incompletions. So, I think a lot of it was Patrick Mahomes is whining because he doesn't have elite weapons like he's been carried by his whole career. Tom Brady won 3 Super Bowls with lesser weapons than Patrick Mahomes has now. He won his first 3 with stalwarts like David Givens and Deion Branch and David Patton, lesser guys than Mahomes has now. Mahomes has an Hall of Fame tight end right now in Travis Kelsey. Brady didn't have that when he was winning 3 rings from 01 to 04. So again, shut up, stop making excuses, play the game. And then, again, Mahomes backtracked about this, but it was crying about the referees, that's one thing. Brady did it too. They all do it. Brady ran into the tunnel after a Carolina Panthers game in 2013 going after the referees and debating the call. But Brady never, and I've never seen anybody go up to the fellow quarterback after the game still whining about the call the way Mahomes did. Just shake his hand and say, good game. Josh Allen didn't act like a baby when his defense let him down with 13 seconds to go, and the Chiefs beat him a few years ago in the playoffs. So just shut up, let it go. You lost the game. The Bills played better. The Bills should have never let the game come down to that point, but anyway. And here, the rich part of this is the hypocrisy by the Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs have gotten so many calls over the years. If you don't believe me, I've got examples here. I brought receipts. As a Niners fan, let me start with Super Bowl 54. 3rd and 15. Niners are up 20-10. There's 8 minutes to go in the game. 3rd and 15. 40-yard completion to Tyreek Hill. Changes everything. Chiefs go on to win the game. However, Nick Bosa was going in for the sack. He was going in for the kill, and he would have had it, except his face mask was literally just about yanked off his face. And guess what? No call. No call was made. If the call's made, chances are the Niners win the Super Bowl. That's one. Because if they make the right call, it's 3rd and 30. Maybe the Chiefs make a miraculous play there, but probably not. They're probably going to end up punting or having to go for it on 4th down and not getting it. We go to the playoffs a year later. They're playing the Cleveland Browns. Close game. The Browns get to the guy's going to, it's one of those deals where he's about to score a touchdown. He tries to reach the ball over the goal line. He fumbles it. It goes out of the end zone, a touchback. However, he was absolutely tattooed in the helmet. That's a blatant 15-yard penalty. It's 1st and goal for the Browns. Nope, no call. Chiefs win the game. How many? Instead of the Browns getting a touchdown, how many points do they lose by? 5. Makes a big difference. Let's go to another one. Last year, the referees probably got Super Bowl rings because in the 4th quarter against the Bengals in the AFC title game, they gave him a 5th down one time, or they literally gave him a do-over. They called a ridiculous intentional grounding on Joe Burrow. They called the ticky-tack roughing the passer penalty on Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, by the way, says, "Why don't the referees let us play? Let us play." What does Patrick Mahomes do anytime he's hit? He's crying at a referee looking for a roughing the passer penalty, which he got against the Packers 2 weeks ago, which was totally ridiculous because he was still in bounds. I didn't see Patrick Mahomes crying there and saying, "Let us play, let us play." Stop being a hypocrite, Patrick. But let's get back to the other examples. Just this year, in week 4 against the Jets, the Chiefs are up by 1 or 2 points late in the game. Twice on the last drive that they have, there was ridiculous penalties they called on the Jets. If they don't call them, the Jets get the ball back. Instead, the Chiefs are able to run out the clock. So again, I'm not saying the Chiefs would have lost the game, but the Jets would have had a chance to win it if the referees don't screw up. Literally a week later, they're playing the Vikings. They throw a penalty on the Chiefs, rightfully so, because the guy took his helmet off on the field. That's an automatic 15-yarder. Instead, he warned him and said, put your helmet back on. You can't do that. So again, and that was a game changer. They beat the Vikings by 3 points, I believe. These are game-changing calls that all went for the Chiefs. So stop complaining. You sound like idiots. You sound like 2-year-old babies, and Patrick Mahomes acted like a 2-year-old baby with his hissy fit on the sideline, the likes of which I've never really seen before. Even when Brady, you can look at the video of Brady following the referees into the tunnel against the Panthers. He looks a lot calmer than Mahomes there. So this was second-grade stuff. And credit to Mahomes because he did come out and say, I've got to set a better example and blah, blah, blah. So I'll give him that. But it was a terrible look. One more thing. How did I miss this? The Super Bowl last year. Everybody knows tie game against the Eagles, third and goal. They call a ticky-tack pass interference penalty on the Eagles, which allows the Chiefs to run out the clock, kick the field goal as time expires. Again, Patrick Mahomes wasn't saying, "Let us play. Let everybody play. Stop throwing flags." King hypocrite there. Him and Andy Reid. Andy Reid too. That's probably. Can we edit that out? Okay. Shit. Should I just go back to?
That's okay.
Can you
pick up where you were going?
Okay. So Andy Reid, instead of whining about the officials, just coach your guys. Tell them to line up in the right place. D Ford had been doing it all year and had been getting away with it. Tell him to stop. Stop whining about the officials. Discipline your players. Make sure they don't make those mistakes. And again, this isn't a pass interference or holding. These weren't debatable. This wasn't a debatable call against the Bills. This was a blatant offsides. It's easy. There's no easier thing than calling that. It's not a judgment call. So the Chiefs totally humiliated themselves. Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, even with their half-hearted apologies now, they're still not coming out and saying, "Oh, we're sorry. We acted like idiots and we're sorry." They're saying, "Well, technically they still don't call that much." Just shut up. You lost. You looked like idiots. Let it go. Take it on the chin. Move on and do better. You embarrassed yourself. You embarrassed the Chiefs. You embarrassed the NFL. You were embarrassments that day. Do better moving forward. All right. That's all for this week, folks. I'll be back with another. There'll be something else that ticks me off soon, so I'll be back next week with another rant. Have a good one.